Hey, what's up, Nerd Fam? Nerd Jace here, and I'm back today with another Magic the Gathering Arena video. And this is the release day for the new set, Lorwyn Eclipsed. And of course, as I've been doing here recently with these sets, I have purchased the 50-pack bundle. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be opening up these packs, including the three free packs that Arena always gives away when the new sets drop. So yeah, go ahead, strap in, like, subscribe, share, get ready to leave some comments. If you want, get you something to drink. So I'm about to sneeze. Nope, maybe not. Yep. Excuse me. Yeah, so gonna go ahead and jump in here. So with the new bundles, so Wizards WotC did something new for this set. They dropped the pre-purchase for the Mastery Pass, which is that's bullshit. Screw you on that, WotC. So now you can only get it with the gems, which is 3,400 gems. The 50-pack bundle. Oh wow! I go to different things and it does music now. What the shit? Okay, I lost my train of thought. Oh, so this pack stays the same. It's still $50, but instead of just getting 50 regular packs and then the 5 golden packs, this time they did 45 regular packs and then 5 mythic packs. So that could be interesting. And then the draft token bundle, they bumped the price up in that also. And I think you get maybe 1 extra token each. I can't remember off the hand, because really I'm not big on drafting. I suck at it. Basically, I use my draft tokens just to rare and mythic pull. So it's whatever. But yeah, some cool shit in Lorwyn Eclipsed. Quick history lesson, which I think I've mentioned before. Lorwyn was part of the block when I came back to Magic years ago. And it was also it was at the Shards of Alara pre-release. So I got the cool little Ajani promo for that. And then I actually pulled an Ajani in my pack, my Alara packs there. But Lorwyn was big at that time. Because it was Lorwyn, Morning Tide, Eventide, Shadowmoor, and I'm probably missing one more in that big block. But it's pretty cool because you got the tribal stuff with, you know, elves and merfolk and goblins and kithkins and all kinds of shit. Fairies. And that's actually one of the things I'm wanting to pull in this, is the Bitter Blossom Bearer. So basically, one of the big enchantments from the Lorwyn block of old was Bitter Blossom. It's a 2-cost enchantment, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life, but then you get a 1/1 black fairy rogue creature. So yeah, you know, you just keep doing that over and over, and eventually swarm your opponents. So they have a creature now that basically does the same thing, but it also has flash. So that's pretty cool, and it makes a black-blue token this time instead of just a black fairy rogue. So that's one of the big ones I want. Shocklands, of course. But yeah, there's some other cool stuff. Some different takes on some of the cards that were originally in that set. We also got some the creatures or beings from Strixhaven making an appearance in here, because Strixhaven's going to be in one of the sets later on in the year. But anywho, I babbled enough. Let's go ahead and start cracking these packs. And let me know in the comments what some cool shit that you pulled, whether it's on here in Arena, physical copy, or physical product. If you went to pre-release or anything like that, you know, what'd you get in there? They apparently in a lot of the pre-release bundles or whatever, the promo in there was the upcoming Ninja Turtle card, so that was kind of a fuck up on their end or whatever. I don't know. But anywho, so yeah, we got some Elemental Warriors back. That was a big thing too. Elementals, Spiral into Solitude. So that's Pacifism. And then Blight. So Blight is a take on Wither now. So it's not really they got rid of Wither. They just kind of adapted it or whatever. So that's what Blight is. To Blight, you put a -1/-1 counter on a creature you control this time. So Wither, it was always on your opponent's creatures. So you're doing that to yourself now. I guess that's going to be some part of the lore with the set. I'm not sure. Got Cinder Strike. I think that was a reprint, if I'm not mistaken. Prisma Basher, Kindle the Inner Flame, a Kindred sorcery. So yeah, Kindred's the overall tribal thing. Let's see what our first rare is. Okay, In Blaze Epiphany, a red X spell. Nice. So Epiphany deals X damage to target creature, wish it was any target, but whatever. When that creature dies this turn, exile a number of cards from the top of your library equal to its power, then choose a card, exile this way until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. So they're doing a bunch of that stuff with red and whatnot now. But, you know, it'd be nice if you could play it for free. But Twin Flame Travelers, I think that was also a reprint. So flying 3/3, if a triggered ability of another elemental you control triggers, it does an additional time. Giant Fall, again, I think that's a reprint. Bard Bloodletter, Flash Equipment. Flash Equipment's always nice. When this equipment enters, attach it to target creature control. That creature gains Wither until end of turn, and then it gets +1/+2. Nice. Convoke is coming back big time in this set too. So with Convoke, you as you pay the mana cost, well, tapping an untapped creature that you have reduces the colorless mana cost for whatever it is. Got a Kithkin Ranger, and we got Ashling's Command. So yeah, Ashling, she makes a comeback in this. There's various commands for the dual colors and whatnot. So choose to create a token that's a copy of target elemental. Target player draws 2 cards. Command deals 2 damage to each creature target player controls. Or target player creates 2 treasure tokens. Okay, so not bad. 5 mana is kind of pricey, but you do get to choose 2. Changelings are also back in this, so this will help out with some of my other decks. Got Evolving Winds back. Elder Auntie. So yeah, what was her name? Auntie Boggart. She was a big player in the old blocks. This creature enters, create a 1/1 black-red goblin creature. Guiltleaf's Embrace. Scarblade Scout. Lifelink. There's some Merfolk. I want to make... I might have to end up making like a historic Merfolk deck, or definitely a Brawl one, I don't know, but the wild card investment for that's going to be... Ugh. Got a Kithkin enchantment, so when this enters, create 2 green... So yeah, green and white Kithkins in this one. So 2 of those tokens, and then for 5 mana, you can create another token. All right, we got Gloom Ripper. So this is a 4/4 Elf Assassin. When this creature enters, target creature you control gets +X/+0 until end of turn, and up to 1 target creature an opponent controls gets -0/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of elves you control plus the number of elf cards in your graveyard. So Elf Tribal. Probably won't see light of day in a deck for me, but Midnight Tilling, Tend the Sprigs, a Merfolk Wizard, Wanderwine Distractor, Eclipse Flamekin. That seems familiar, but could be wrong. Dream Harvest, Jesus, 7 mana. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they have exile cards with a total mana value 5 or greater this way. Until end of turn, you may cast them. Oh, so that's why it costs 7 mana. You can cast those cards without paying their mana cost. Still, damn, 7 mana. Whew. Reluctant Downguard, I guess that's how you say that. Run away together. That's some pretty art. All right, so choose 2 target creatures controlled by different players. Return them to their owner's hands. Okay. Tributary Vaulter. Little Merfolk. So yeah, I think Merfolk in this one is white, blue. Got some shapeshifters. Chitinous Graspling. Soulbright Seeker, an elemental sorcerer. There's additional cost to cast a spell. Behold an elemental, pay 2. Okay, so it only costs 1. Then pay 1. Target creature control gains trample to end of turn. This is the 3rd time this ability has resolved. You add 4 mana. Okay, so that's alright. Foraging Wickermaw. Oh, Scarecrows. Are Scarecrows making an appearance again? Alright, when this creature enters, surveil 1. Pay 1, add a mana of any color. This creature becomes that color to end of turn. So yeah, that's another mechanic or attribute in this Vivid. So it gets abilities based on the number of colors that you have on board. Gut Splitter Gang, 6/6 for 4. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may blight 2. If you don't, you lose 3 life. Okay. High Perfect Morcant. 4/4 Elf Noble. When Morcant or another elf you control enters, each opponent blights 1. Tap 3 untapped elves, proliferate. Okay. Yay! Mythic wildcards. So I got 2 rare, 2 mythic. So another Evolving Winds. Vile Bogart. 1/1 Goblin Assassin. When this creature dies, put a -1/-1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Shimmerwild's Growth. Enchant Land. As enters, you choose a color. Enchanted Land is a chosen color. Whenever Enchanted Land is tapped for mana, it does an additional of that color. Okay. Glamourmite. 2/2 Fairy Rogue Flasher. When this creature enters, choose 1. Tap or untap a creature. Okay. That'd definitely be good in Limited. In Draft. Bloodline Binding. Another... Oh, shit. No, this is 8. 8 mana. So Convoke. So that can decrease the mana cost. Choose a creature type. Return all creature cards of the chosen type from your graveyard to the battlefield. That could be good in my Brawl Rat deck. Maybe. All right. Oh, got a mythic. All right, Volume Winds. So that's number 3. Great Forest Druid. Tree Folk. All right, Tree Folk making another appearance, which with The Hobbit coming out later on in the year also, we should get some more Ints and Tree Folk and stuff too, I would imagine. Gnarlbark Elm. Tree Folk Warlock. All right, 3 mana, 3/4. This creature enters with 2 -1/-1 counters on it. Pay 3 mana, remove 2 counters from this creature. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Activate as a sorcery. Only that was an instant speed. Moon Shadow. 1 mana cost, 7/7 elemental with menace. This creature enters with 6 -1/-1 counters on it. Whenever 1 or more permanent cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere while this creature has a -1/-1 counter on it, remove a counter. Okay. So I guess would Mobilize work with that? That might be something to experiment with. And I like the art. The art's really pretty. Imagine the full art would be really, really nice too. All right, so pretty good first mythic. Dream Caesar. All right, so this is a take on Thoughtseize, classic black discard card. So kind of similar to the same art, to the art. So this is a 4-cost, 3/2 flying fairy rogue. When this creature enters, you may blight 1. If you do, each opponent discards a card. So get a little best of both worlds kind of thing. I don't know, 3 or 4 mana is kind of pricey, but you know, we'll see. Gravel Gill Scoundrel, nice merfolk. Burning Curiosity, is that a reprint? I can't remember. Sounds familiar, but I could be confusing it. So, as additional cost to cast a spell, you may blight 1. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. If this spell's additional cost was paid, exile 3 instead. Till the end of your next turn, you can play those cards. Okay. A Giant Warrior. Yeah, Giants, of course, too, was another tribal thing in that whole block back in the day. Burdened Stoneback. And we got a Kithkin Knight, champion of the Klachan. 4/5 flash. Damn, bunch of flash stuff in this set. So as an additional cost to cast this spell, behold a Kithkin and exile it. Other Kithkin you control get +1/+1. Alright, so little tribal lord. And then when this creature leaves the battlefield, you return the exile creature to its owner's hand. Okay. I mean, I could deal without that part, but it's whatever. Gallant Foul Knight. Glamour Might. Darkness Descends. Okay, for 4 costs, put 2 -1, -1/-1 counters on each creature. Okay, so that's a little pyroclasm stuff, action or whatever. That could be good for some indestructible, dealing with some indestructible shit. Unexpected Assistance. I like that art from Gustavo Pelissari. I guess that's how you say his name. Convoke. Draw 3 cards, then discard a card. And we got Goliath Daydreamer. 4/4 Giant Wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, exile that card with a dream counter on it instead of putting it into your graveyard as it resolves. Whenever this creature attacks, you may cast a spell from among cards you own in exile with dream counters on them without paying the mana cost. That's going to make Is It Lessons even more of a pain in the ass if they want to run this though. But that's definitely interesting. And it's not legendary too, so you can get several of that stuff going on at the same time. Creekwood Safe Right. Little Elf Warrior. Ooh, we got some evil looking Kithkin in this one. I guess this is from the Shadowmoor side. Miss Meadow Council. Damn, 5 freaking mana for this fucker. 4/3. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a Kithkin. Okay. So it'd be a 4 cost instead of a 5 cost. When this creature enters, draw a card. That's kind of shit. Feisty Spikeling, Shapeshifter. During your turn, it has first strike. Okay, and Personify. Exile a target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Create a 1/1 Shapeshifter token with Changeling. And Hexing Squelcher. So this card is fucking powerful too. I'm really surprised it's not a mythic. Alright, so it's a Goblin Sorcerer. 2 mana, 2/2. This spell can't be countered. It has Ward, pay 2 life. Spells you control can't be countered. And other creatures you control have Ward, pay 2 life. So that's freaking powerful. Pretty powerful. So yeah, that's another card I was kind of excited about. I didn't look at a whole lot of the spoilers and stuff on this, because I want to be surprised or whatever. I was hoping for reprints like Figure of Destiny and stuff. There's a version of that. It's just green white instead of white red. Reckless Ransacking. River Guard's Reflexes. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool looking art. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains first strike until end of turn. Untap it. Nice. Okay. Explosive Prodigy. All right, so Vivid. That's the thing I was just saying. When this creature enters, it deals X damage to target creature and opponent controls, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. And we got Selfless Safe Right. So he's a Flash Convoke. When this creature enters, choose a creature type. Other permanents you control of that type gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Okay. All right, another mythic. Anti-Sentence. Choose one for 2 mana. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land permanent card from it that player discards. Okay. Or target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Unforgiving Aim. So you can destroy creature with flying, destroy an enchantment, or create a 2/2 black-green elf. Okay. Dawnhand Eulogist. I like that art. It's a 3/3 elf warlock with menace. When this creature enters, mill 3 cards. Then if there's an elf card in graveyard, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Ever Strikes Gift. Okay. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has flying, and then you can Blight 2, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, I mean that's fine and like limited. Kithkin Citizen, Jesus. Wari Farmer, 3/3 at the beginning of your end step. If another creature entered the battlefield under your control this turn, you Surveil 1. Boldwire Aggressor. Ooh, double strike, and then other giants you control have double strike. Jeez. And Mirror Form. 6 mana. Each non-land permanent you control becomes a copy of target non-aura permanent. Ew, okay, so some like polymorph shit. Or mass polymorph. I'll try to get through these somewhat quicker. I'm, again, discovering some of these cards also. As additional cost to cast this spell, Requiting Hex. You Blight 1, destroy target creature with mana cost 2 or less. If this spell's additional cost was paid, you gain 2 life. Got a Lava Leaper. So that looks like a Jackalope or something. Elemental. All creatures have haste, so that's your opponents also. Whenever a player taps a basic land for mana, that player adds 1 mana of any type that land could produce. Nah, sir. I don't want my opponents gaining shit too. And I like that art. That's pretty. Another Shapeshifter. 5 mana, 3/3 changeling flying. When this creature enters, exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards. You gain 3 life. So again, yeah, let me know what you're excited about for for Lorwyn Eclipsed, or just Lorwyn in general. Would definitely like to know. Let's see, we got Scarblade's Malice. Appeal to Irdu. Convoke 1 or 2 target creatures each get +2/+1 until end of turn. Perfect Intimidation. 4 mana. Choose one or both. Target opponent exiles 2 cards from their hand. Remove all counters from target creature. Okay, so you're getting rid of your own blight stuff to do other things. All right, we got a Fairy Rogue. Ooh, he's riding a hornet or something. Flitterwing Nuisance. 2/2 flying. When this creature enters with a -1/-1 counter on it. For 3 mana. Oh, and it costs 1. That's nice. 3 mana, remove a counter from this creature. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker this turn, draw a card. Okay. I just like the... well, of course, when it comes into play, it's a 1/1, but still. If it had flash, that'd be cool, too. Yeah, I definitely want to do something with fairies. It all depends on how many Bitter Blossom Bearers I get and wild cards I, have that end up getting to supplement. Silver Gill Mentor, 2/1 Merfolk Wizard. You can well, no, you have to. You either have to behold a merfolk or pay 2 mana, 2 additional mana. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 blue, white blue merfolk token. Nameless Aversion. That's a repeat. I like the art. I like the new art. So it's a changeling spell. Target creature gets +3/-3 and loses all creature types until end of turn. And we got, all right, Twilight Diviner, or Diviner. I think it's Diviner. So this is another potentially could be broken card from what I've kind of gathered from other content creators that are more in the know than I am. So it's Elf Cleric, 3/3 for 3. When it enters, surveil 2. Whenever one or more other creatures you control enter, if they entered or were cast from a graveyard, create a token that's a copy of them. This ability triggers only once each turn. So, that's some reanimator, shenanigans, things like that. So, could potentially get way out of hand. All right, Mythic. Gathering Stone. 4 mana artifact. When it enters, choose a creature type. Spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. When this artifact enters and at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a card of the chosen type, reveal it and you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't put the card into your hand, you may put it into your graveyard. So it's cycling through your deck. I don't know. I think there's some other cards that might do that better. Dawn's Light Archer. 4/2 Flash Reach for 3, not bad. Glenelandra's Answer. So 4 mana instant that can't be countered. Counter all spells your opponents control and all abilities your opponents control. Create a 1/1 blue-black fairy creature token with flying for each spell and ability countered this way. So can you do that when, say, going by Avatar, when your opponent goes to like Earthbend or something like that? Could you counter that and then, I don't know, possibly? That's pretty cool though. Definitely got to, theory craft with it. Mischievous Sneakling, Shapeshifter, 2/2 Flash, Changeling, Omni Changeling. Alright, you may have this creature enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's a changeling. Okay. Noggle Robber. Noggles. This creature enters or dies, create a treasure token. Spry and Mighty, right? Yeah. Choose 2 creatures you control. You draw X cards, and then the chosen creatures get +X and gain trample until end of turn, where X is the difference between the chosen creature's powers. Interesting. But for 5 mana though? Nah, that's kind of a trash rare in my opinion. Wild card, yay. Morkant's Loyalist, 3/2. Other elves you control get +1/+1. When this creature dies, return another target elf card from your graveyard to your hand. Nice. Bark of Doran. Equipped creature gets +0/+1. As long as equipped creature's toughness is greater than its power, it assigns combat damage the reverse way. I know that type of architect just seems more of a headache than what it's worth, because you got to constantly like keep track of that shit, in my opinion. I don't know. But we got a Kithkin Soldier rare, Kinscare Sentry, 2/2 First Strike Lifelink. When this creature attacks, you may put a creature card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking, where X is the number of attacking creatures you control. Ooh. That's nice. So you can get into some shenanigans with that with Mobilize. I think if you stack the triggers correctly. Interesting. I like that. Tweeze, Marrow Sky Swimmer. Is that a reprint? Seems like it is. Or just very, very similar art and name. 2/2, convoke Flying Vigilance Merfolk Soldier. When it enters, create a 1/1 Merfolk. Keep out! Got some evil looking Kithkins right there. Alright, so you choose one. It deals 4 damage to target tap creature or destroy target enchantment. Nice. Nightmare Sower. Fairy Assassin, 2/3 flying lifelink for 4 mana. Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, you put a -1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Oh, okay. And we got a transformation card. Tristan, Callous Cultivator, who goes into Tristan Penitent Color. So it's a 3/4 Death Touch. Whenever he enters or transforms, you mill 3 cards. Then if there's an elf card in your graveyard, you gain 2 life. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay 1 black mana if you do transform. And then on the flip side, same thing, 3/4 Death Touch. Whenever you transform, mill 3 cards. Then you may exile an elf card from your graveyard. If you do, each opponent loses 2 life. Okay, so you can kind of do... Oh, sorry, at the beginning of your first main phase. Not upkeep or whatever. So yeah, each color combination has something like this too. So that's interesting. Interesting card design. Bogart Prankster. Temporal Cleansing. Convoke. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it into their library selected from the top or the bottom. So if somebody steals your creature also, you can plop that out. Well, no. Oh, yeah, you can. You can still do it on your turn. You have to do it on your turn because it's sorcery, but... So yeah, if somebody steals your shit, you can get it back. Bogart Mischief. Kindred Goblin Enchantment. When it enters, you may blight 1. If you do, you create 2 Goblin tokens. Whenever a Goblin creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. Okay. Another Gut Splitter Gang. And there's Ashling. So with her, she's a 1/3. Whenever she enters or transforms, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. And then on the flip side, whenever she transforms, and at the beginning of your first main phase, add 2 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to cast spells with mana value 4 or greater. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so the new field for this set too is pretty cool. So it's like, I guess Morningtide and Shadowmoor. They're like fighting for control depending on you know, the life totals and stuff. It's pretty cool. I watched a little bit of Amy the Amazonian. She of course got invited to the little streamer invite thing to draft and show off some of the new cards. So we've got Blossoming Defense, Sting Slinger, so Goblin Warrior, 3/3, pay 2, Blight. Blight 1, this creature deals 2 damage to each opponent. And Sig. All right, so we're pulling all the transformation stuff. Yeah, Sig makes another appearance too. He was big in again that block. So 2/2, he can't be blocked. Whenever this creature enters or transforms into Wonderbind, when he transforms back to that, target creature gains. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, planeswalker, draw a card until end of turn. So you can transform into the shield. Can't be blocked still. Whenever this creature transforms into shield, target creature you control gains protection from each color until your next turn. Nice. It's kind of like doing the night and day stuff, you know, mixed personalities or something. So you want to kind of constantly do that to get that ability trigger. All right, Merfolk Scout. Whenever this creature attacks, you can tap another untapped Merfolk. If you do, you turn target creature with mana value 3 or less from graveyard to the battlefield. Nice. Oof. I don't know how you say that. Glister Bairn. 1/4. Vivid. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gets +X/+X, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. We got Brambleback Brute. So another giant warrior. It enters with 2 -1/-1 counters, and then you remove a counter from her. Target creature can't block this turn. And Kin Binding. So 5 mana. Creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures that entered the battlefield under your control this turn. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 green-white Kithkin token. So again, I guess you could do that could still mobilize could still pump that up, right? Creature. Yeah, because that should pump them up when they enter also. So okay. 5 mana, but potentially some good gains. Come on, I need Bitter Blossom, damn it. Blight Rot. Put 4 -1/-1 counters on target creature. Stalactite Dagger. This equipment enters. Create a shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and is all creature types. Shimmer Creep. 3/5 Menace. Vivid. When it enters, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life. Where's the number of colors? And Soul Emulation. Or Immolation. As a digital cost to cast a spell, Blight X. X can't be greater than the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Soul Immolation deals X damage to each opponent and each creature they control. 5 mana, okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, that could go with that that big ass wall from Avatar set. If you're, you know, want to play the long game kind of shit with that, I don't know. And I need some shock lands. There's supposed to be some fucking shock lands in this set. Spry and Mighty. Changeling Wayfinder. This creature enters, you may search for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. That seems like it's also a reprint. I could be mistaken on that. Prismatic Undercurrents. Vivid. When it enters, search your library for up to X basic lands, where X is number colors among permanents. Reveal them, put them into your hand, and then you may play an additional land on each of your turns. Yeah, because green needs more bullshit like that. Gangly Stompling. I like the name. Thought Weft Imbuer. Kithkin Advisor. 05. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gets +S/+X until in a turn where X is the number of Kithkin you control. So that's some Exalted type stuff. Emptiness. So yeah, that's one of the new elemental incarnations. That's a pretty dope looking card too. Alright, so 3/5 for 6 mana. Once creature enters, if 2 planes was spent to cast it. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Also, when it enters, if 2 swamps was spent to cast it, put 3 -1/-1 counters on up to 1 target creature. So that's the thing. You want to combine your mana cost so you get to trigger both of those. Cool. It's not a Bitter Blossom Bearer, but still cool. Blossom Bind. Enchant creature. When this art enters, tapped enchanted creature. Enchanted creature can't become untapped and can't have counters put on it. Okay, so that's shutting down a card. A problematic creature. Protective response has Convoke. Destroy target attacking or blocking creature. Sunderflock. 5/5 elemental for, god dang, for 9 mana. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest mana value among elementals you control. Okay, so get cost for less, or yeah, cast for less. Flying. When it enters, if you cast it, return all non-elemental creatures to their owner's hands. Ew. Okay, I won't be playing any elementals, but still. Elemental decks, I should say. Stratosaurer. 3/5 elemental. When it enters, target creature gains flying, and then basic land cycling. So yeah, that's something that's, I guess, coming back. Basic land cycling. Gristle Glutton. 1/3. Tap, blight 1, discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Okay. Feed the Flames. It deals 5 damage to a target creature. If that creature would die, it gets exiled instead for 4 mana. Pyrrhic Strike. As additional cost to cast, you may blight 2, choose 1. If the extra cost was cast, you do both instead. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, or target creature with mana value 3 or greater. And Iridu, Carrier of the Dawn, Elemental God. Ooh. That's some pretty cool looking flip art. So 5/5, flying with lifelink. Creature spells you cast have Convoke. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay a swamp. If you do, transform. And then on the flip side, each other non-token creature you control has Persist. Nice. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay the plane to transform. Oh, so it's Iridu into Isilu. I guess that's how you say the names. Interesting, though. I like the Persist. Wither and Persist was definitely stuff that needed to come back, in my opinion. But you know, Flamekin Guild Weaver. When it enters, you create a treasure token. All right, we got a Merfolk Soldier, Champions of the Shoal, 4/6. As additional cost to cast, you behold a Merfolk and exile it. Whenever this creature enters or becomes tapped, tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. That's nice. When this creature leaves the battlefield, you return the exile card to your hand. Eclipsed Kithkin. 2/1. When it enters, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a Kithkin, forest, or playing card from among them and put it in your hand. The rest go on the bottom of your library. And we have an Eclipsed Elf, so same thing, except with elves. And I got a Mythic Wildcard, so we're up to 5 rare, 3 Mythic. 19 regular packs left to go. There's another one, nice. So I got double wild cards there. Is there a bonus sheet for this? Like I said, I could swear we were supposed to get some shock lands back in this set. Glamour Gifter, 1/2 fairy wizard with flash. When it enters, choose up to 1 other target creature. Until end of turn, that creature has base power and toughness 4/4 and gains all creature types. Nice. I like that. That's a nice uncommon. 2 mana to do that. I like that. Boulder Dash. Boulder Dash deals 2 damage to any target and 1 damage to any other target. Okay, I like that too. Brigade's Command. So this is the Kithkin version. Choose 2. Create a token that's a copy of a target Kithkin you control. Target player gets a Kithkin token. Target creature you control gets +3/+3 until end of turn. And or target creature you control fights another creature. Okay. For 3 mana, that's pretty good for 3 mana. Flaring Cinder. Warren Torchmatcher. So we got Goblin Warrior and Elemental Sorcerer. That art's kind of cool too. Okay, so enchant creature. Oh, it's a flash enchantment. I like that. For 2 mana. Enchant creature you control. When this art enters, enchanted creature gains hexproof until end of turn, and it gets +1/+2. I like that. At the beginning of your combat, on your turn, you may blight 1. If you do, target creature gains haste until end of turn. Okay. Champion of the Path, Elemental Sorcerer for 4 mana, 7/3. When you cast, you have to behold an elemental. So that's nice too. So like in recent memory, everything you can only behold dragons. So it's nice that in this set you can do other creature types to get that same ability. All right, whenever another elemental you control enters, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. When this creature leaves the battlefield, return the exiled creature back to its owner's hands. Okay. All right, 16 regular packs. Spring Leaf Drum, that's new art. That's a reprint. Tap and untap creature control to add a mana of any color. I need Bitter Blossom Bear, damn it. Slumbering Walker, Giant Warrior, 4/7. It enters with 2 -2/2 counters. At the beginning of your end step, you may remove a counter from this creature. When you do, you return a creature card with power 2 or less from graveyard to the battlefield. So that's just different. A variation of Smile at Death from Tarkir. Or Dragonstorm, yeah. Tarkir Dragonstorm. Tanuful Rhyme Speaker. Elemental Wizard. Reaping Willow. 4 mana, 3/6 lifelink. It enters with 2 -1/1 counters. Pay 2 to remove 2 counters from this creature. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay. Shadow Urchin, another Oofe. How the hell do you say that? 3/4 for 3. When it attacks, you blight 1. Whenever a creature you control with 1 or more counters on it dies, exile that many cards from the top of your library until end of your next turn you can play those cards. Rhyme Chill. Vivid, alright. Shit, 7 fucking mana, but it costs 1 less to cast for each color among permanents you control. Tap up to 2 target creatures, put a stun counter on each of them, draw a card. I don't like that. But I guess if you're doing 5 color control kind of shit, okay. Swat Away. Costs 2 less to cast if a creature is attacking you, so it can get down to 2 blue mana. The owner of target spell or creature puts it on their choice at the top or bottom of their library. Okay. Morn Song Aria. Legendary enchantment. Players can't draw cards or gain life. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player loses 3 life, searches the library for a card, and puts it into their hand. Ooh. That's similar to crap. I can't think of the name of the card now. But I don't know. That might be some niche thing that you can do. That you can definitely do this with Davriel, which I have a brawl deck with him as the commander, and I got what Necropotence in there that does kind of the same thing or something similar. I don't know. Interesting though. But again, right now, so far, the card that I want, I have not pulled. Got a set of mythic wild cards now. Deceit. All right, so we got the blue-black elemental incarnation now. 5/5 for 6 mana, and then if 2 islands was spent when you cast it, return up to 1 other target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So you can bounce your own shit too. Nice. And then if you also paid 2 swamps, opponent reveals their hand, and then you get to choose a non-land card for them to discard. Okay. Enraged Flamecaster. A card I hadn't pulled yet, apparently. For Doge Core, this is a Kindred Artifact for 3, Changeling. Tap to add a mana of any color. And then you can pay 4, and it becomes a 4/4 artifact creature. Okay. Not bad. Another Runaway Together. So yeah, that's not my first. That's like a set now. Chaos Spewer. When this creature enters, you may pay 2. If you don't, blight it. Kinsbale Aspirant. 2/1, behold a Kithkin or pay 2 extra. Whenever another creature control enters, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And Gloom Ripper, another one. All right, we're getting towards the end of our main packs. All right, we've got Thought Weft Lieutenant. 2/2 Kithkin Soldier. When it enters or another Kithkin control enters, target creature gets +2/+2 and trample until end of turn. All right, there's another Ashling. So 2 of her. Another Flitterwing Nuisance. 2 of them. Surly Farrier. Kithkin Citizen. 2/2. You tap hit. Target creature control gets +2 and gains vigilance until end of turn. Activate as a sorcery. Raiding Schemes. 5 mana. Each non-creature spell you cast has Conspire, so I can't remember what Conspire is. When you cast a spell with Conspire, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control that share a color with it. When you do, copy it, and you may choose 2 new targets for the copy. Okay. Deep Channel Duelist. I'm kind of digging the art. Could have put a little bit of black in there on the outline to kind of give a little extra something, but whatever. All right, so 2/2 Merfolk Soldier. At the beginning of your end step, untap target Merfolk you control. And other Merfolk get +1/+1. So yeah, definitely want a set of those. Wanderwine Farewell. Convoke. Return 1 or 2 target non-land permanents to their owner's hands. Then if you control a Merfolk, you create a Merfolk token for each return permanent. Okay. Another Selfless Save Right. Again, stuff I don't really want. Well, I mean, it's cool, but again, I want 1 freaking card. That's what I'm mainly interested in. Discard card, creature gains indestructible until end of turn, and you tap it. Iron Shield Elf. Bristlebane Battler. 2 mana. It's a 6/6 Trample Ward 2. It enters with 5 -1/-1 counters on it. Whenever another creature you control enters, while this card has a -1/-1 counter on it, you remove a counter from that. So Mobilize can pump this fucker up. Like that. All right, Mythic, come on, baby. Come on, baby. Got another Eardo. Isilu. Okay, Elemental God. Okay, that's an interesting card. I definitely would like to try and do something with it. Alright, we got Luminolisk. 2/4 Death Touch with Vivid. When it enters, you gain life equal to the number of color permanents. Dose of Dawn Glow. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then, if it isn't your main phase, Blight 2. Okay. But 5 mana, though? Don't think so. Ah. Another legendary creature. Elf Fairy Noble. Ooh, so we got some nice different colors in there. Black, green, blue. 4/5 flying. Marlin Fey Ascendant. Whenever she or another elf or fairy you control enters, exile the top 2 cards of target opponent's library. Once each turn, you may cast a spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of elves and fairies you control from among cards exiled with Marilyn this turn without paying its mana cost. Cool. Might be something to look into for Brawl. Goliath Daydreamer again. Come on, 48 packs and I haven't gotten a Bitter Blossom Bearer. There we go, and that's our first bonus sheet card. Risen Reef. 1/1 elemental. When this creature or another elemental you control enters, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. If you don't put the card in the battlefield, you put it into your hand. Moonlit Lamenter. 2/5 enters with -1/-1 counter. Move a counter from this creature, draw a card, activate as a sorcery. 2 Battlers. Kith Keeper. 3/3 elemental. When it enters, create X Kithkin creatures, where X is the number of colors. Tap 3 untapped creatures you control. This creature gets +3/+0 and flying until end of turn. Got a Bone Club Berserker. This creature gets +2/+0 for each other goblin you control. I don't like that it's 4 mana, but whatever. And that's another 6. So we've got 2 him, 2 Ashling, 2 of the Elemental God. Or Incarnation God, whatever it is. Alright, last pack out of our main ones. Eclipse Realms. As it enters, choose Elemental, Elf, Fairy, Giant, Goblin, Kithkin, Merfolk, or Treefolk. Alright, so you can tap it to add a colorless, or you can tap it to add a mana of any color, but it can only be used to cast a spell of the chosen type or activate an ability of the chosen type. So again, you're going to have this in your tribal decks, especially because it doesn't enter tapped. That's a good thing. And we got another High Perfect Morcant. 48 fucking packs, not one Bitter Blossom Bearer. But maybe the mythic ones will give us some. Come on. Morningtide's Light. 3-cost sorcery. Exile any number of target creatures. At the beginning of the next instant, return those cards to the battlefield tapped under the owner's control until your next turn. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. Exile Morningtide's Light. Okay. I mean, it being a sorcery, kind of, but I get it. Puka's Eye. When it enters, you draw a card, then choose a color. This artifact becomes a chosen color. So that's getting in with the vivid thing. Pay 3 and tap it to draw a card. Activate only if there are 5 colors among permanents you control. And another wild card, so we're up to 9 rare, 5 mythic. Grave Shifter. 2/2 changeling. When it enters, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, so that's to your hand. That's a Gravedigger. Gravedigger's cousin. And another emptiness. Alright, so 2 emptiness now. Bristlebane Outrider, another Kithkin Knight, 3/5. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. As long as another creature entered the battlefield under your control this turn, it gets +2/+0, so it becomes a 5/5. Throw some trample and other shit on there. Chronicle of Victory. 6-cost legendary artifact. When it enters, choose a creature type. Creatures you control the chosen type get +2/+2 and have first strike and trample. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, draw a card. Okay. So I could possibly try to put that in my Spider-Man deck and some other things. Maybe even the Rat deck, maybe. I don't know. All right, last Mythic pack. Hovel Hurler, Giant Warrior, 6/7. It enters with 2 -1/-1 counters. Pay 2 to remove a counter from him. Another target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains flying until end of turn. Activated as a sorcery. Moonglobe Extractor. When this creature attacks, you draw a card and lose a life. I think that's a reprint. Noggle the Mind, a flash enchant creature. Enchant creature loses all abilities and is a colorless Noggle with base power and toughness 1/1. God damn it! 53 freaking packs. No Bitter Blossom Bearer. Alright, Spine Rock Tyrant, 6/6 flying dragon with Wither. Awesome. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell with a single target, you may copy it. If you do, those spells gain Wither. You may choose 2 targets for the copy. Okay. Alright, so now we got 5 golden packs. So that's 5 more chances to get at least 1 copy of that damn card. Another wild card. Alright, reveal all. Alright, so I got another Phoenix Fleet Airship from Avatar. Champion of the Klachan. So that's our 3rd High Perfect Morcant. That's our 2nd one of that. Scuzzback Scrounger. 3/2 Goblin Warrior. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may blight 1. If you do, create a treasure token. Okay. Ran and Shaw. And then Stitcher's Wings from Spider-Man. Or Omen Pass, I guess you should say. Herald of the Eternal Dawn from Foundations. 6/6 flash flying. You can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. Mirror Mind Crowned. 4-cost artifact equipment. As long as it's attached to a creature, the first time you would create 1 or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that many tokens that are copies of equipped creature. Okay. Bloomvine Regent. Rating Schemes, Zimone, all questioning, and a 2nd copy of Marilyn. Or Marilyn, however you want to say it. Okay, so we got the white-red elemental incarnation, Catharsis, 3/4. When it enters with planes, create 2 Kithkin tokens, and then the mountainside creatures you control get +1/+1 and haste until end of turn. Okay. Oh, that's my first Johnny Color the Pride. Nice. Nice Planeswalker there. Wow, and I just got my 2nd one of that. Oh yeah, so part of the pre-purchase bundle with this, I got a copy of the new Johnny plus the different card art. So I'll show that, I guess, whenever I finish this. Fucking A, my third Iridu Isilu. Again, one of them couldn't be Bitter Blossom, Shadow Urchin, Summon Titan. I haven't gotten one of them before. Wow. Appa, Steadfast Guardian, Earth Knight's Lieutenant, and Seer Vondum. And last pack. So this is going to be what? 55, 58 total packs. No Bitter Blossom. The one fucking card I want. Didn't pull any of them. Second Chronicle of Victory. Got another Codis. Fuck Codis. I hate that goddamn card. Oh, Reese, the Evermore. So yeah, Reese was a big part of that old set. So yeah, he was green. I think there was 3 variations of him. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but there was green, white green, and I want to say green black, but I could be wrong on that part. Osteomancer Adept, Squirrel Warlock, 2/2 Death Touch. Until end of turn, you may cast creature spells from graveyard by foraging in addition to paying their other costs. If you cast a spell this way, that creature enters with a finality counter on. Oh yeah, I got that before. Yeah. All them damn packs. No freaking Bitter Blossom. That really kind of pisses me off. Alright, so there's all our stuff right there. Let's see, let's go ahead. The Johnny, where's the Johnny? Or is he white green? Johnny. Oh, there he is. So yeah, this is the new Ajani. So Ajani Outland Chaperone. So 3 mana cast, 3 loyalty coming in. You go up 1, you create a Kithkin token. You go down 2, he deals 4 damage to target tapped creature, and then -8 loyalty. You look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your life total. You may put any number of non-land permanent cards with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So that's just, you know, swamping the board. Especially if you have haste, then you can really do some stuff. So yeah, there's the alt art. And then another one. That's pretty cool looking too. So there's not a bot. I could have sworn there was a bonus sheet for Eclipsed. Yeah, so there we go. So all those packs too, I didn't pull any fucking shock lands. That really pisses me off. I'm not kidding. I wanted 2 things. Bitter Blossom Bearer and Shocklands. I got none. Fucking none. Ugh. Yeah, that was the only freaking... I mean, I'm not counting volume wins because there's so 20 bajillion different variations of that. But I only got 1 Eclipse Realms. No Hollowed Fountain. No Steam Vents. Blood Crypt. I didn't need any Overgrown Tombs, but still been nice to pull it to get a wild card. Or Temple Gardens. That pisses me off. Actually, so let's do it like this. Let's go Mythic first. Yeah, right there. I got how many duplicates of stuff? I couldn't get 1 goddamn Bitter Blossom or Bitter Bloom Bearer. All right, so we got Curious Colossus. So is Johnny the only planeswalker in this one? Huh. No. Oko, right there. Oko, Lorwyn Liege. So green, blue. So at the beginning of your first main phase, you can pay forest to transform. All right, so +2 up to 1 target creature gains all creature types. +1, target creature gets -2, -0 until your next turn. If you flip them, so minus ability, -1, mill 3 cards. You may put a permanent card from among them into your hand. -3, create 2 3/3 green elk tokens. Or -6, choose a creature type. You can emblem with creatures you control the chosen type, get +3/+3, and have vigilance and hexproof. Okay. Interesting. So we got Lockmare, a horse serpent, 4/5. It enters with 3 -1/-1 counters. Pay 2, remove a counter to draw a card. Pay 3, remove 2 counters to tap target creature and put a stun token on it. Got Meek Attack, an enchantment. So pay 2, you may put a creature card with total power and toughness 5 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. It gains haste, and then sacrifice it. Okay. Aurora Awakener, 7/7 Trampler, Giant Druid. When it enters, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X permanents with a creature with a color, blah, blah, blah. Put any number of those onto the battlefield, then the rest go on the bottom of your library. Celestial Reunion. As additional cost to cast this spell, you may choose a creature type and behold 2 creatures of that type. Alright, so green X spell. Search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. If the additional cost is paid and the revealed card is a chosen type, put it onto the battlefield instead. Okay. I can dig that. Then we got Vibrance. One of the last elemental incarnations in the set. 4/4. If you pay 2 mountains, it deals 3 damage to any target. It's Lightning Bolt. And then if you do the forest, you search your library for a land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and gain 2 life. And then there's Wistfulness. 6/5. Paying the forest, you exile a target artifact or enchantment opponent controls. And then on the blue side, you draw 2 cards and then discard a card. So let's look at the card art for there. I like that. Ooh, that one's pretty. I really like that. It cannot be purchased this time. Fuck you. So that's probably on the whatchamacallit, the mastery track. But there's my set of Bitterbloom Bearer. Fuck you on the card pulls. So yeah, as you see right here, I have almost 18,000 gold. So I guarantee if I use that to pull another like 10 packs or something, I'll get like 27 of those. Not really that much, but you know what I mean. So let's do this. So I get it. Yeah, so Ajani and Oko are the only planeswalkers in this set. Okay. Let's go rare. Actually, let's go rare creature. Just take a look at some of the other stuff. So where's the there it is, Figure of Fable. So yeah, comes in as a 1/1. You pay a forest or a plane. Figure of Fable becomes a Kithkin Scout with base power and toughness 2/3. If you pay 3 mana, if it was a scout, it becomes a Kithkin Soldier and 4/5. And if you pay 6 mana, and it was already a soldier, it becomes a Kithkin avatar with base toughness and power 7/8 and protection from each of your opponents. Got Bree Clan Stout Arm. That's pretty pretty cool looking. 4/4. Pay 2 mana and tap target or another target creature you control gains flying and lifelink until end of turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You can cast it without paying its mana cost. If the spell's mana value is less than or equal to the mana life you gain this turn, otherwise put it into your hand. Okay. Tinted first year. So yeah, that's the these first year, that's Strixhaven people. Merfolk Wizard, a Deep Way Navigator. Flash, when it enters, untap each other merfolk you control. As long as you attack with 3 more merfolk, this turn merfolk you control get +1/+0. Champions of the Perfect. You behold an elf and exile it. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. Mutable Explorer. Changing when this creature enters, create a tapped Mutavault token. Yeah, that's pretty freaking interesting. So yeah, comes in, you get a Mutavault token. So yeah, it taps for a colorless, and then you can pay 1 and becomes a 2/2 changeling until end of turn. Adept Water Shaper. Other tap creatures you control have indestructible. It's a Goblin Warlock. Grub, Storied Matriarch. And also Notorious Auntie. So 2/1. Whenever this creature enters or transforms, return up to 1 target goblin card from your graveyard to your hand. It has Menace. So whenever Grub attacks on the flip side, you may blight 1. If you do, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of the blighted creature, except it has at the beginning of the end step sacrifice this token. What do I got? So I got 10 of that. Let's look at some instants. That's the only instant. Harmonized Crescendo. Convoke. Choose a creature type, draw a card for each permanent you control. Rare sorceries. Oh yeah, the other commands. Collective Inferno. When it enters, choose a creature type, double all damage that sources you control the chosen type would deal. And Sapling Nursery. Affinity for force. Goddamn, yeah, green needs more of that shit. Landfall. I fucking hate landfall. Whenever land you control enters, create a 3/4 tree folk. Token with reach. Pay 2, exile this enchantment, tree folk, and force you control gain indestructible to end turn. Jesus Christ, so that's gonna be some earth bending shit too. Ugh. Rhymefire Torque. When it enters, choose a creature type. Whenever permanent you control the chosen type enters, put a charge token on this artifact. Remove 3 tokens. When you cast an instant source spell turn, you could copy it, and then you can choose new copies. Sorry, the wifey texting me. That's like, oh yeah, so that's other commanders. Yeah, stuff we already like. Oh, what's that one? Doran, Besieged by Time. So yeah, that's another blast from the past. 05 Treefolk Druid. Each creature spell you cast with toughness greater than its power costs 1 less to cast. Jesus. Whenever a creature you control attacks or blocks, it gets +X/+X. where X is the difference between its power and toughness. But what we're going to do is, I got 10 wild cards. God damn it. Why did that not bring up? What the hell do you mean it's not current filters? Oh, because I have some of them in the other sets. That's why. Damn it, Jason. All right. 2, 4, 6. All right, so I'm going to use 6 out of my 10 wild cards to bump these up to at least 3 each. But actually, I might... I want to do it in some of the other sets. I don't like... I don't really care for... I mean, that art's okay. Definitely cooler steam vents. I like that one. Blood Crypt. Yeah, I don't like that. That one's kind of cool. That one's also kind of cool. OG. Yeah, that's from Edge of Eternities. That one's cool. That one's okay. Temple Garden. Ooh, oh, so that's like Morningtide Shadowmoor versions. Okay, that's cool. I do that. I like that. Ooh, that one's pretty. But it's goddamn card style. So I didn't know that they did that. That's pretty cool. Let me look at that again. So okay, so yeah, that's Morningtide Shadowmoor. Okay, that's cool that you did that. But yeah, I'm gonna get some different art from the other sets with that. But yeah. Reset filters, boom. Oh yeah, a Johnny Collar the Pride. But yeah, there you go. That's a bunch of pack openings for Lorwyn Eclipsed here on release day. Hopefully you enjoy the video and me bitching about stuff. But thanks for joining me as always. I appreciate it. And of course, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. And then until next time, Planeswalkers, Nerd Jace out.